Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fantasycraft The Last City, Part 31, which is almost certainly going to be the finale of this series. I am your host and GM for this evening, Austin Ramsey. My pronouns are he and him. You can find both me and the podcast You Don't Meet in an Inn on Twitter at NotAnInn. And You Don't Meet in an Inn is presenting this stream. It's a podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a rotating cast. You can find any of my game design work at austin-ramsey.itch.io. And assuming that you hear this before the end of March 2020, you can find my Beamsaber Kickstarter at tinyurl.com/beamsaberkickstarter, which is starting in 3 days? Just wild. And, of course, as always, I am joined by Christine.
Hello, I didn't see you come in. I'm Christine. I don't know why I did a bit. I'm playing Dorothy, the Unborn Mage, and this is my animal companion, Midnight. He will be making frequent appearances, mostly on my keyboard, and my pronouns are
Thank
she or
you.
they.
Also with us is, of course, Sasha.
Hey, it's me, Sasha. My pronouns are ends, and I'm playing the very good captain, Lee, who's a tree who shoots guns and is gonna kill Storm today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, of course, last but never least, Hadrian.
That's me. I'm Hadrian. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Viper, the Bloodsworn martial artist. Has 4 arms, still has fewer guns than Madam.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right. So, who remembers what happened last week?
Oh, NBD, summon to God, whatever.
Minor god.
Just a little god.
Does that make him a petit moi?
I was wondering when
It
someone was
is.
going to make that joke.
Heyo.
So, it seems to be a staple of Fantasycraft games when Christine and I play. It just happens.
Hey?
What?
That way? Wouldn't phrase it that way exactly, but I mean,
It
Sure.
comes up when Fantasycraft happens. In the first time we played this game. Okay.
yeah, we're gonna move on. Is the thing.
Dig up, bud. Dig up.
Anyways, yes, you have a big ol' bone worm, bone spirit worm floating above the ship that you summoned yourselves. And yeah, you fought off some Skellig rebels that were trying to interrupt the ritual. Well, not so much try and interrupt it as just interrupt your lives.
I would say, we more like distracted some skeletons while
Oh,
the ghosts
yeah.
killed them.
I
Honestly.
forgot about that. Those
being
ghosts were effective, but not in the way that was to be expected. Okay. So, it is going to be one day's sail to the storm. And while you are sailing there, you know where it is, but there's this unnerving wake behind the ship. It's just like this trail of undead sea creatures following the ship. And not the, like, good sort of, are they undead? What's going on here? That the Mysticity whales are? but just like straight up, you know, skeleton sharks and like zombie jellyfish and
Oh no.
just all kinds of gross stuff behind you.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
You did it, but you made a jellyfish work.
I don't know if you can really classify jellyfish as alive
I have heard that.
to begin with. How long does this sort of like is there like a radius where the undead like stop appearing or like start appearing?
I would say
We have a spyglass, so we pretty much can see anything.
Yeah. A spyglass and not much else to do.
you're right. There's very little to do on a ship that you're ostensibly in charge of to a degree.
Mhm.
When you're lazy.
Taking the
We have like
Yeah,
we've got
they
like
basically sell themselves.
27 other people to do boat stuff.
I would say that it is not quite clear what the radius on this effect is because, I mean, all this stuff is coming up below the water, right? And so some of them are coming up immediately in the ship's wake. Some of them are coming up at a distance. I would say that the effect is probably at least 2 miles. That is the furthest away, like, thing you saw. But obviously, which I think was like a walrus, like a zombie walrus surfaced like 2 miles away. But like I said, it's hard to tell because smaller things could be, you know, coming, like you could have like, you know, skeleton guppies, or I don't know if guppies are saltwater or not, probably not. But whatever the equivalent would be. Zombie clownfish, like who knows how far away they might be activating and you just can't spot them, right? Because they're so small comparatively.
Zombie coral, but it gets attached to the ground so it doesn't follow us. But zombie coral.
You know what? Maybe there's ghost coral following you.
What if it could? Yeah.
So there's a bit of a party trailing after the ship, which definitely has the crew unnerved because they're kind of like, if we slow down, what is going? Are we just going to get instantly mobbed by an undead army of sea creatures? Like, what is going to happen? Also, there's definitely a bunch of Grebel in that wake. Since, you know, you did the ritual on top of, like, a Grebel mausoleum, basically. So, yeah.
Is it defacing the temple if it was used for its intended purpose?
I am not a theologian. I am not the person to ask. 100%.
The words intended purpose carrying a lot of weight there.
As you approach, even through the night, you can see the storm in the distance because, you know, it's massive. It's like 24 miles across or so, and purple lightning flashes in the clouds that it encompasses. Even at this distance, you can see the salty seawater being driven upwards from the ocean into the cloud's body. As you all know, the storm god is trying to end itself to to unfortunately little effect with this methodology. And of course, you've got this wake of undead, and you've also got the giant floating ghostly skeleton worm trailing behind you as well. Actually, I don't think it's quite trailing behind you. I think it's like above the ship and a little bit behind, so that like if you want to talk to it, you can go into the crow's nest and be, you know, talking distance from its primary face.
Worms like
Yeah.
pilot fishing.
And so, since you said that you were looking around with the spyglass, Dorothy, you also, of course, can see off in the distance, in amongst the clouds of the storm, all of the various seabirds that you saw the last time that you encountered the storm at at a distance. That you know are sort of symbiotic relationship with the storm. So, is there anything y'all want to do in these last few hours before you really get close to the storm?
Well, y'all should eat something.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone should be at full vitality.
something.
V, the max vitality hits that you took. I don't know if anyone else took those, but those should all be cleared because they disappear after 8 hours. Yeah, because remember you lost some when you traded it for knowledge.
Yeah. I could have made that a more mechanical exchange.
I mean, you got a feat out of it.
Yeah, I think Stormgod's gonna be really impressed with my acting.
You never know.
So, I guess Captain V is cooking up a meal for the crew. What's everybody having for your pre-battle meal? I'm guessing V is just gonna throw open the pantry on this one.
Yeah, really, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If not now, when, you know? Probably. I mean, comfort food is yeah. That's like the like
Mm-hmm.
thematically that's the better kind of vibe. I think. Speaking to the people who actually play this game, what's better for this?
As opposed to what
You don't
have
even
been
go
doing.
here.
31 sessions in.
Is
Fortitude
a little better
will help
here.
you resist the sickened condition. Because it'll give you a fortitude bonus. And sickened is like a side effect of getting hit by electrical damage.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Well, it's pretty solid. It's just gonna be that one then. It is. Well, we've been carrying some livestock for a while. I think it's worth sticking up one of those on a spit. And carving that up, and probably there's like good gravies and like some like breads and stuff. I don't know. What do people eat?
I think that sounds good.
I think, you know what? I think at the end of the day, what all of this combines to make is just like really baller sandwiches. Just like
I appreciate
really
a good
fucking
sandwich. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone's doing?
I'd like to pop up to the crow's nest and talk to
Okay.
Beth for a second. Talk to God.
So, let's see, who would be up in the crow's nest? We'll say so. You climb up the crow's nest, and you can hear the sounds of a harp being played as you approach. And you get up there, and Danko, the weeping willow root walker, is in the crow's nest playing his little like a portable version of the big harp that he plays usually when y'all are having one of your shindigs, and very purposefully not looking at the god of death that is like basically within arm's reach of where he is sitting. And you come up and he's like, oh, hello, Captain. What's up?
Afternoon. Not much. Just enjoying the
Oh,
dulcet
good.
tones.
I'm
from
glad
down
it's
from the
calming
deck.
someone.
I like that too.
Yes, that is why I'm here.
Are you up here for a shift? Is that what's happening?
I'm, there's the
anything
big
interesting up
storm in front of us, and there is our companion behind us. There's, there's a whole lot to see up here, Captain. I'll be honest, I am trying not to think about it and just playing my music.
No, I admire your what's the word? It is good to have coping mechanisms, and I admire yours. You're very good at them.
He's like halfway out of the
I
crow's
would
nest.
like to take some time off and spend some time speaking with my companion here. Yeah.
Trying not to think about it. Somebody's been
So
studying.
yeah,
the
you just
Viper.
hear like, great, thanks, Captain. I'll see you later.
Alright, I'll look up at the death god. How are you
It
doing?
itches.
How
I
is
do
the
not
world
like
treating you?
being here. To be clear, itches is a metaphor.
Understandable.
Yes, You mortals do not have the word for what this feels like.
Okay.
No.
I think that's fair. I've never been a god, so.
Yet.
So what is the plan once we get to the
I am going
storm
to
god? What are you doing? What do you need us
attempt
to do?
to kill my brethren. That may take some time. During that, I am going to be vulnerable to the storm's lashings as well as its creatures, I suspect. They are not of my purview, as we have established, and I have concerns that while they are small, they are many in number. And they may do damage. I don't think any of us would be happy if I returned to my domain half of what I am. Indeed.
Yeah, as far as death is concerned, you kind of want to go big or go home. Okay. How long
I
is
don't
some
know.
time?
I do not have a good grasp of temporal realities here.
Okay.
That
About a day since
I understand the word you are using, but it does not make sense. I am not of here. Things do not work as I thought they might. There is a reason that we do not belong in this realm, and that what has happened to my brethren is unsurprising.
Right. Okay. So you'll go in, you'll wrestle the big one.
That would be
Your little
ideal.
ones, so you're not overwhelmed by swarm. Sounds good. Sounds actionable. Sounds relatively simple in text, if not in execution. Okay. Well, I have the next hour until the next person's shift is up, so
It doesn't reply.
let's stay up here for a bit. I'm just gonna
Treat it to a song.
I might give it a song. I might also just kind of idle chit chat for a bit.
If
as best as one
you
can
try and
with,
idle chit chat with
God.
it, and it just says, "Stop. I am already uncomfortable enough."
Yeah.
I am not the
Makes
god of idle chit chat. It does not say that, to be clear. Dorothy or
Well, we don't have
Viper,
time for
are you
anything else.
two up to anything? And
I am going to
Okay.
purchase a favor with my reputation. I'm going to pray for a blessing, which has no minimum downtime, and the entire party going forward
Ooh.
will have +1
all right.
bonus with action die results.
What does this look like?
I think I unsuccessfully tried to capture a living animal for a long time over the boat, and eventually get a live fish, and then I sacrifice it to the swarm, and with the sacrifice, I request a blessing.
So you do that, and
Neck goes in, gut goes in.
I think like nothing appears to happen, but as soon as your eyes leave the fish to like look anywhere else on deck, you see Ento, and it just gives you a thumbs up, and then goes back to like looking at like a fistful of
Firm
potato
pat on
bugs.
the back.
I love that the God of Chaos just compels this little bug demon to go do this. It's good.
And then I spend the rest of the time trying to figure out if it was anything other than just a show of support from my bug.
I think there's
demon
definitely like
friends.
over the next.
Who
You know what?
knows?
Actually, why don't the three of you give me a notice roll? Yeah. Yeah. No, I just want to see like.
Well, it's specifically like luck. So yeah. I think I flip a coin a lot and see if I get heads more often than 50%.
This is the first time I've ever done okay on a notice roll ever in this entire campaign.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm beside
So yeah,
myself.
Viper got a 21, V got a 21, Dorothy got a
Well,
27.
because you're lucky now.
And to be clear, Yeah, the difference between Viper getting a 21 and V getting a 21 is Viper
That was a natural
or V
20.
rolled a 20 and Viper rolled a 6. So, yeah, I think Dorothy, you definitely know what you're looking for. You flip a coin and yeah, it comes up heads. It like not every single time, but enough that you're like, all right, there's something funky going on here. And Viper and V over the like next couple hours, there's just like weirdly good luck in your favors. So tell me what is that like weird degree of good luck? And it's not like anything huge, right? It's like some small things, like you drop an egg and it doesn't break on the deck, right? It like lands in a little like nest of rope and just like happens to fall so that it's gently cradled. That kind of thing. And what is it that tips you off?
Well, I will say that Dorothy has been going around to the crew and repeating the same joke over and over to some of the people who haven't heard it, which was like, if you ever want to get lucky, now's the time. And then when they're like, what? She explains, oh, I got a luck blessing from that god I follow. Okay, have a good day.
Okay.
Little god of death above, lucky god.
I mean, there are
on the
probably
deck.
people
Listen,
off
it's
shift
party
who
town now.
need some
That's
way
what
of
this
killing
fucking
time,
ship
and
is.
they are very nervous about what is to come. So, yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, I don't need to tell you then.
God, we even there
Sorry
even
about
actually
that.
is a married couple on board.
Go.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So Viper and V, is it just Dorothy going around saying this to everyone that tips you off, or is there something more subtle? or is it like something happens and you're like, oh, that's what she meant?
That's what the brave lunatic Eppelings are.
There are,
Oh, I think of Viper and Lance are keep betting each other on like they're like stone skipping. Like they keep a little stash of skipping rocks on the boat, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna use them all day." Keep taking bets on who can get the most skips, and they always
That's
tie.
pretty great. What's the most number of skips the two of you got?
Uh,
26. Yeah, no shit.
26,
All right, V, how about you?
which is a lot.
what? There are, I think.
Yeah.
Do you ever have a day where all of your clothes just fit, just like perfectly? And like she gets her eyeliner wing done like perfect the first time. Both of them they match, you know. And there are flowers in her skirts
Nice.
that she hasn't been able to get to bloom that opened up today.
Great.
Perfect. timing.
So Viper, other than skipping stones for a couple hours with Lance, what do you get up to?
Also looking at ways to spend reputation. I think it might be some special training. Maybe doing some feat training. Yeah, I'm going to be spending 20 reputation to do special
Cool.
advanced combat training to
What does
pick
that
up
look like?
2-weapon fighting style for the remainder of this adventure. Well, after we run out of rocks, we got to do something. I think it starts out as Viper is giving Lance a handicap by fighting with 2 weapons, and then eventually it's no longer a handicap. And then she's training with. By the end, it's like 3 or 4 people simultaneously
Okay.
on the deck, and nobody can touch her.
All right. So, as you approach the storm, you know that there's just a few hours left before the worm will launch its assault onto its brethren. The waves are getting extremely choppy, unsurprisingly, with the storm overhead. The smell of ozone from the amount of lightning before you fills the air. Let's see. Who wants to make the sea vehicle's ride check to steer the ship competently into the storm? I mean, yeah, you can use them if you want. I was just wondering if the captain who
Yes, I
auto
missed
passes ride checks may or may not want to do this.
I don't know.
How many
I'd love
ranks
to. I never
in
got a focus
ride do you
of
have? Because you're
sea
supposed to get a new
vehicles, because
focus like
that's
every
just the
4
person I am, but yeah,
ranks, I think,
I'll
or
have
3
to-
ranks.
do that.
And how many focuses do you have? Okay.
I have 7. 3.
And never chose sea vehicle for.
Well,
This is
Well-
Power King.
Alright, in that case, let me just pull up the sailor stats.
I'll
Alright.
learn this game eventually as I play it. I said
Okay,
30
so
episodes
plus
ago.
9. So Sasha, why don't you give me a d20 plus 9? As Odd takes the helm and Hanar directs the crew, and 22. All right, yeah. So Odd is able to tack the winds and head deeper into the storm. With the tacking is like the only one I know. Attacking the
using
wind
sailor
and
terms.
sailing deeper into the storm with the aid of the other sailors and the rest of the crew who have some handle on. I don't think they know how to sail, but they know like a task. And Hanar has like sort of like assembly lined the handling of a ship amongst the crew. You know, everyone has one task that they know how to do, and she knows how to direct them. Yeah, so long as nobody, you know, dies or goes overboard or anything. But a 22 keeps everyone on the ship. No one is lost to the waves.
No.
As you go up and down these massive waves, because you are, you know, sailing into literally the worst storm that exists. At this range, the storm blots out the light And so Hanner has the lanterns lit all over the ship so that everyone can see what is happening. Occasionally, the whole ship is lit up by lightning. Well, actually, probably more than occasionally, fairly frequently. Who is it in the crow's nest? I guess it's Danko, since everyone has a task that they know how to do. Danko in the crow's nest shouts something, and you can't hear him over the like raging winds and waves and lightning. But you look where he's pointing, and you can see with the occasional with the frequent blasts of lightning, silhouetted against it is a massive wingspan, just humongous. And you can also see some other shapes up there that are winged but are clearly not birds. What do you all do? All right.
Oh, swing
Okay.
those ballistas round.
So, yeah, where is that? Where did I put those gunnery stats? Okay. Right, and so you've got 5 gunners. They all have Siege Basics and Siege Mastery and Quick Draw. If I recall correctly, that all adds up so that when they are teamed up working together on the ballista, they can fire them like every other round. Something absurd like that. Ballista Heavy, Load 9, AP 6, Massive Stationary. And I'm just gonna pull up the siege feats. I think I would have thought of this earlier. Siege Basics. Load quality of siege weapons you use drops by 1 per adjacent ally. Also, you gain a trick. You ignore the -5 attack penalty from the indirect quality. Okay, that doesn't count because they're ballista. You inflict Siege Mastery. You inflict double damage when attacking objects or scenery. Okay, well, you're shooting at birds, so. And they also get Reign of Terror. Your punishing attacks assault the defender's will, causes stress damage. Well, these are sparked. They don't suffer stress damage. So you're getting one benefit of those, at least. Yeah, okay. So here's a question then. You have,
Better than
I believe it's 5 gunners.
Interfacing with Fantasy Crafts, I'll take it.
Where are they? Yes, you have 5 gunners and 2 ballistae, Captain. For every gunner past the first, that'll lower the load quality by 1. Do you want to put them all on like 1 ballista, or do you want to split them up?
Feels a little 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Fair. Now, if they're on separate things, then I have one in the chamber, but I think being able to fire every other round, you said, is more valuable than having
Okay.
an extra and waiting for those to
All right. Do you want?
back on themselves,
So
I
currently,
think
previously you
I'll
had the
one.
ballista,
I'll one,
one
yeah.
on the port side and one on the starboard side, sort of on the forecastle of the ship. Do you want to, like, in preparation for this, move the ballista somewhere? Like, to the center of the forecastle instead of either side, or, like, leave them where they are? Okay. Just have them run between the two as necessary.
We'll leave them where they are. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
Just make sure we start with
so,
both loaded, and then we're good.
let's see, what actually is there to hit bonus? Gunners. They got attack 5. Y'all are level 7. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to grab the stats for the heavy ballista because otherwise I would be a fool. Okay, there we go. All right. Attack 5, level 7, plus 7. All right. V, you want to roll for the gunnery crew? All right. Hold on, because it's...
Sure.
Well, here's a question. At what point do you tell them to open fire? Like, at what
20 plus
range?
7, you said?
Like, at maximum range? Like, once they're good and close?
I think it's the once they're in arrow range, I think, for the rest of the crew. I want it to be like the
Okay.
the first hit.
Hey,
that
V,
hits the
sounds like you're
hardest,
setting up an ambush.
followed by everyone else firing.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Uh-huh.
Ooh, a tactics roll. Been a while since we had one of those.
Wonder why.
I have stuff in tactics. It's not involved in anything, so. But I did get a natural 20 on it,
That is
so
natural.
Okay, so the max
So,
range
I
of short
totally
bows
invite you to
is
do it.
120 feet. So I guess you'll open fire with everything when you hit 120 feet. Yeah, okay. All right.
yeah, that's close.
Let me just see.
didn't spring
Okay,
for the
do you
long
are you
bows.
activating that crit?
Sure did.
Okay, so with a critical success, each member of your party also... Oh, actually, I'm going to say don't bother, because you activate...
Oh, yes.
When you do that, everyone gains 1d6 sneak attack damage per action die spent during the surprise round, but Sparked are immune to sneak attack damage, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. That said, they do get a notice roll to try and oppose this.
Dang heck.
And
darn.
so, let's see, where? Notice 3, notice 4. Okay. Let's see, 3 is plus 9. Okay, so... plus 9, 13, and 27. Okay. So, the smaller winged non-bird shapes are not... They notice the ship coming in, probably because they're so numerous. But the massive thing does not. The ambush is being sprung at 120 feet.
How far away are we from them at this point?
Don't ask. I mean, the short bows won't be able to reach then. The idea was that
Can we spring the ambush at
you'd be able to
250 feet?
have everyone with a short bow open fire along with the ballista, but You're welcome to ask V about that.
What's the scheme?
Well, I can lob huge globs of fire at them, from 250 feet. If we want to do that. Or we could wait until we get a bit closer and then everyone can fire, but I can continue to fire at them.
My only concern with that is I don't want to keep it out of range. Before
Oh,
we
they will
hits it.
approach.
Okay, sure. Get your damage in, you fucking glass cannon.
Okay. In
I'm
that
porcelain,
case, so
actually.
Dorothy, are you
But
shooting
thank
your
you.
fireball at
Thank
the
you.
big one, or at like the cloud of less big ones? I mean, there's like basically there's like hundreds of these
How big
things,
is the cloud of less big ones?
sort of like spread around. Basically, I'll let you hit like
Mm-hmm.
like a 20-foot radius. Well, I mean, they're not all like crammed in like
How
a
many can fit
subway
into
car.
20 feet?
I'll let you hit 2 mobs worth.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're like flying around, in circles. They're not like flying in
it's a 20
formation.
foot
They're not
radius
flying like a
sphere.
cloud of sparrows.
Okay.
They don't have that level of coordination. Okay. So you're gonna hit one of the clouds. Is that it?
Okay.
Or was that a yes?
Yeah. Well, because I think I'm first gonna hit the big thing.
All right.
Because if I set it on fire,
And I
That
guess
will
V,
take
you have
gradual
relayed
damage.
this plan to
first
the
I'll hit
worm.
big thing.
Well,
Sure. Yeah. I mean, insofar as I feel like the worm needs
yeah,
to know.
it's just like you don't mention it to the worm
Yeah.
beforehand, and it's probably
we
just gonna
talked about
like
this earlier. We
go.
were all
Like
right,
it's not a
we'll
god
take
of
the
tactics or
little things
war,
as long as
right?
we take out the big god. So. Oh yeah, I guess I could be like, hey, let's work together on this.
Agreed.
If you don't go until I get the signal, so that all of us are prepared to defend you as best in the best position that we can get.
Okay. So you're firing at 250 feet for
What
the
is the
ballistae,
signal?
so that's in the
Oh, you'll
third
know.
range increment, which is a -4 penalty. So you'll be rolling
I got
1d20
pipes,
plus
you'll hear.
3. The idea was that it was going to fire at the same time that you fired the fireball, right? That's the whole point of launching an ambush.
Oh, is the ballistae attacking already? I
I don't see any reason not to.
right. I guess we don't have limited ammo. Okay.
This is the ambush round first. So there's going to be like, basically, there's going to be a couple.
It's not good.
Hold on.
Should-
Let me
should we
let me
roll
do
for
some
initiative?
quick math.
Okay.
Oh, Hmm. That's... Yeah, okay. Never mind about... yeah, let's... I'm gonna take us over to the ship. Because I realize that there is only going to be the one surprise round. Okay, so yeah, let's... birds fly fast.
Wait, how fast are they moving? Damn birds. My mortal enemy.
Okay. So yeah, everyone give me your initiative rolls. What is that? Oh wow. Both groups of creatures got 25. So
Yo, that's fucked up.
I'm just gonna put them as sparked.
Is this? Oh man.
Okay, Viper, you got 24.
Not used to not going first.
Yep. Let's see, who is next? Dorothy, you got 23.
Dorothy at least
Is
got
that
some
correct?
reason before everything popped off.
Dang, real close here. V, what did you get?
Actually, let me roll for dog.
Okay.
He's going to be able to do much.
Could you roll for Gentleman
Yeah,
Moose
17.
in case you get off of him during the fight?
Oh. Sure. It's possible I forget what his initiative is. It is up here on the thing.
Okay.
And Moose's initiative is just a d20 plus 1.
Alright.
It's the classic track everyone knows and loves. That's a 5.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll a d20 for the crew. They get a
He is a
3.
gentleman.
He is. Gentleman Moose's
Threat level probably went up by 1,
Gentleman Moose's stats didn't
but I
change
couldn't
when
tell you what
looked
those
up,
are
but
offhand. Is there anyone else who needs their initiative rolled? Dog and Rosemary. Or Foxglove.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna just put dog at 22. Actually,
Foxglove
wait,
is
you're at
19,
23, so
dog
that's
is
fine.
23.
Dog, and then 19 for Rosemary. Foxglove. There we go. All right. So let's see.
Get my albino rat character straight, please.
I am just going to grab all the gunners since they are all around the singular ballistae. Who else is on deck, V? Is it literally all hands on deck for this? All right then. No.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
don't have cannons,
depends on
right?
how
We know
attached
that?
you are to to everybody.
There's no
you
point
know?
in anyone being below deck, really. I guess that no, nope, nobody.
Madam V says, "I'm not here to make friends."
I mean, even the artist needs a spot to see
Um,
things as they happen. So
That's true.
gotta be in the action.
We'll just
Gotta have a camera.
throw
you know?
people up somewhat randomly. I guess you could have other people on the other ballista if you wanted. They won't be. I mean, they're not going to fire as fast as, you know, the rest of the.
I mean, is
as
there
the gunnery
any
team.
drawback to that?
But what you gonna do, right? Okay.
Yeah, at least fire it once.
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
give Violet an out, and she was like, "Nah, I'm here for the adventure." So
All right. So,
really, it is truly ride or
first
die today.
initiative. They are 250 feet away. Oh, yeah. I guess before we go, position yourselves where you want to be. I think that's. I think the layers should be fixed now.
Should have moved some writing on top. That'd be cool. Thank you.
Yes.
Moose can go up and down stairs, right? That's a thing. Cool.
Gentleman moose can at least.
So is everyone good with where they are?
That's how he navigated his room in the townhouse.
Going down to the kitchen at
So
3
everyone's
a.m.
good
to
then?
see a fucking moose drinking from a glass of milk.
Okay.
Like, you have to do that now?
Oh, Dorothy, we got a roll for your fireball still. The ballista whiffed it.
Yeah.
Oh, as good as we're gonna get.
Yeah. So how does fireball work?
I'm good. Just a second. Okay, pass my will save. So, Fireball 1. A bead of flame from my palm will soon. Blah, 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 blah. At destination, the fireball inflicts
Is there
1d6 fire damage, AP 5 per 2 casting levels. So that is
a like reflex save?
So that is 3, 6. Is there?
Okay.
Yes.
But you catch them
So
unawares,
you can
so they
make
don't get that.
DC
Okay, and so how much damage did you do?
18 reflex save to get half damage.
DC 9 reflex
Okay.
save to not catch
And that's
fire.
the big guy that I'm going for.
Okay.
9 fire damage, and now they have to make
Okay. DC 9. They pass.
Correct.
The big one passes. Okay. So, the ambush is not gone as hoped, but with the explosion of fire amongst the crowd, or amongst the clouds, and V shouting for the ballista to fire, the worm takes that as the signal, and it darts into the clouds. And occasionally you can catch its silhouette translucently amongst the lightning. And it very, much, whenever you happen to get a chance to look during the coming battle, it does very much look like it is, wrapping itself around sections of cloud or lightning as it battles with the storm. But, unfortunately, now is the time for the Sparked to come and cause problems for y'all. Okay, so
Really need to invent
Just,
recorded music
that
in
token
this
there.
world, because that's a fucking great album cover right there.
can y'all see the big sparked bird? Yeah, very big. And also very fast.
Oh, yeah, that's a large bird.
Let's see.
Bird big.
So, I don't think it has a preferred target yet. So I am just going to roll to see who it goes after. One and okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Wait, if we had a surprise round, then Fox gets
Uh,
into their stance.
I don't. Are elementals immune to taunting?
Is there any way this thing can be taunted?
That
Or
is
sparked
a
immune to being
good
taunted? I don't remember.
question. Immune to poison, disease, subdual damage, sneak attack damage. Can't fall unconscious. Never gains the bleeding, flanked, paralyzed, or sickened conditions. Can't suffer critical energy and injuries. No, it is not immune to taunting. So, well, it is. Oh, you're. Well, here's the thing, though. Unfortunately, taunt does have a limited range.
Okay, cool. I will use
Yeah,
mine.
and
if I can use
yeah,
my half
and
action.
unfortunately, it started at 250 feet, which is well outside of taunting range.
Yeah, you can't just.
That's not so much
loud
a
as you can
taunt as it is a
scream.
loud noise. Also, I think Hanar would get mad at you.
What if I had a bosun's whistle?
Good to know.
Yeah, but
Okay.
by the way, I have a bosun's whistle.
Um,
Just never used it.
all right. So the birds rush in, and the big one. So they're technically doing a run action with flight. So the little ones, they move 240 feet. So they are 10 feet out from the edge of the ship, which is pretty dang close. And now that they are closer, what you can tell is... So, you know how sparks get bigger over time? And you know how... Yeah, and you know how they can meld to each other? So these are basically, like, human-sized sparked of, like, elves and Kadum and
heard of it.
humans and Saurians who have fused with upsized, like, seagulls and osprey and other seabirds. And so they're, like, fused to, like, their upper shoulders and upper back. And so they sort of got, like, this double-headed thing going on with, like, a giant bird head poking over one of their shoulders or, like, above their head. It's, like, this really sort of, like, messy ad hoc arrangement. Very messy angels. Yeah, okay. The very
Austin,
big
you've
bird,
invented
however,
angels.
is just straight up a giant fucking bird that is sparked.
That's kind.
Actually, pretty clean
and it
angels.
when it runs, it can move 320 feet around, and it has charging basics, so it can make a singular attack at any point during that. So it actually just straight up swoops over the top of the ship, well out to the other side into the ocean, and makes an attack roll against Danko in the crow's nest. And hits with a 16. And 8 plus 3 does 5 points of damage to Danko because he is a root walker. Does this poor entertainer boy make his damage save? Let's find out. Health rating of 1. That is not looking too good for poor Danko. Because that's only +2. And rolls a natural 1. Yeah, so, y'all just hear, like, the beating of massive wings, like, over the sound of the raging winds. And then this huge, lightning-wreathed shadow swoops over the top of the ship, and you just hear Danko scream, and in, like, the split second that he's still visible, you can see that there's a massive talon, just like he's impaled on it, and he's hauled out over the water and just dropped into the ocean. Yep. Yeah, and the bird is out on the other side of the ship.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah,
and
I'm not-
just as
I'm
a
not gonna-
reminder, the
I'm not
waters
pleased not
around
gonna
the
say
ship
this out
are
loud,
still
but that was
swarming with
probably
undead.
Not the roughest way someone's gonna die today.
Viper, you're up. What are you gonna do? Okay, and that's resisted with
I'm gonna
sense
taunt this
motive.
bird.
Let me tell you, this bird not so good at picking out lies. Just a heads up.
Sense motive versus sense motive. Yeah. 32.
So it. I mean, it can't beat that. I'm not going to bother rolling. It just straight up can't beat that. You got a 20 on top of that. Let's see. Taunt. Looking at it,
Yeah, I don't know
no.
if
The
there
opponent
is a
must be within
crit
close quarters. The
mechanic
character is
for
making a post its
taunting.
motive check. If the character wins, the opponent must attack him with his next available action, unless he physically can't. Otherwise, the opponent may act freely during his next action, but also gain. Yeah, okay. There's no benefits to crit failing or crit succeeding. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say Lance is up at the front with you. Yeah, and he just like
Look at me! you
looks
big
over at
dumb
you and
bird!
like nods appreciatively. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So that'll be
And I
DC
guess
18.
then I'm gonna do an anticipate against that bird, which is a sense
Okay.
motive, and the DC will be 10 plus its base attack.
All
bonus.
right.
And that will give me a dodge bonus.
So next up is Dorothy and Dog.
Oh, it was a 15. I accidentally hit the button twice, so I did not make it.
The dog's not gonna do anything. I will shoot another fireball at the big bird. Yes. Stop it.
Knowing that it's going to go sit on a
Okay.
wooden ship with your very wooden friend in like the next round.
It doesn't necessarily. It's not gonna sit. It's gonna fly. I assume.
Okay.
26. So I pass that. And we'll save. Make my will save.
Okay. Now it gets a reflex save for half damage.
4, 5, 8.
DC 18, you said?
AP 5.
Gets a 23. So you said 8 points of damage, so it takes 4 points of damage. And let's see if it makes that reflex save so it does not catch fire.
Mhm.
It passes even on a 1, because it was only 4 points of damage. Okay. Yeah. Huh. I thought your fireball would have done more damage, honestly. Okay, and is fireball a half action?
Me too.
Okay. What's the radius of the fireball?
You know what? I'm going to send a fireball at the whole flock
Dang,
of birds.
okay.
That's good.
Do you have a circle handy or?
The radius is 20 feet. So diameter 40.
You have to hold Alt.
Yep. Circle. I am holding.
10, 20,
Again,
30, 40, 10, 20, 30,
So
40.
can you draw out 40 feet? I'm at the
Yeah,
side.
that's, yeah. Alright, oh. Why can I not select this circle now? Whatever. Okay, as long as you can select yours. Okay, so you're gonna blast those 3. Alright, they're gonna see if they make their save.
Mhm. Let me roll. That wasn't anything. I don't know why I did that. Here we go. 36.
Okay, so
Pass.
it's 13 points of damage.
Make my will save.
23, 26, 15. So one of them takes 13.
5, 2, and 6.
And let's see, the others take 6. And let's see, we'll make their damage saves. 1 passes, 2 passes, and they all pass. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, oh, they gotta make the reflex save, though, to see if they catch fire. That's important. 6. So, 13 passes, 6 passes, 6 passes. Yeah, okay, so they don't catch fire. They just get blasted. Alright, Doc's, is that Dorothy's full turn? Alright, Dog is doing nothing. Is Foxglove? Okay, V, you're up.
Mhm. Enters total defense. Foxglove also enters total defense. No.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Whom are you shooting at?
Let's see. I'm gonna
Okay.
shoot my guns. Which I think at this point shouldn't surprise anyone.
We're all counting on it, actually.
The bird in front of me. Straight up in front of me. So, the thing that I can do to make shooting better, Black Powder Basics, to get my stance, which is focus aim. So if I aim several times, then I get bonuses, or if I just aim and they move, then I still
Okay.
aimed on them.
25
So
is a
I'm gonna
hit.
go on this bird in front of me, for a +1, I think. And then I'm gonna fire my.
Remember, you can
musket.
boost damage rolls with action dice, and you have +1 with your action dice.
Hey. Some damage.
Also possible.
Well,
Well,
Alright, let's see if it makes its damage save.
also, these are standard characters, I think, so it might just die anyway.
Hey, it failed that damage save. You just, like, blow its head
Okay,
off
it's
with your
5
rifle.
points in total. That's great.
Oh, it's an
I love
extra
it.
one. We get +1 on action dice.
6 whole damage coming its way. Wow.
Yeah.
Feeling
I'll just stick it
Nice.
over by the crow's nest.
Blasted.
Okay.
I guess the one that was
Is that
driving.
it? I'm gonna start reloading with your myriad handle item actions. Okay.
Get back on that.
All right. Gentleman Moose does not act because,
I think so.
you're riding him.
Um,
It is the crew's turn. So I guess you
you're darn tootin'.
handed out the weapons. Okay. So that's 10 boarding pistols, 10 short bows, and 1 blunderbuss. Hanar has her own boarding pistol, if I recall correctly.
Oh yes, everybody's loaded to bear. Absolutely.
Yep. So, yeah. You know what I really don't want to do is roll 20 fucking attacks from, like 7 from probably close to 20 different stat blocks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say that they're probably attack 2, because most of them are non-combatants.
So valid.
What's the average?
Yeah, I'll just have a quick perusal. That is true, and actually 2 is actually like
Woof, that bell curve.
is actually the average. So, or like the mode average, to be clear. So I'll give them attack
Several
3,
+1
rating
attacks
3.
sprinkled throughout here.
So attack 3. It's actually +5, which is pretty good. Which is all right. +5. How do I want to do this? Because there's 10 bows and 11 boarding pistols.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, they got defense 16. So do I want to roll 20 dice? Not really.
What's the defense of the birds?
Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll make an attack roll, and then I will,
20
if
20
it's
20
successful, I will roll a number of dice equal to the number of attackers of that method to see how many of them actually hit.
Well,
Does that
if we just assume
seem
that
fair,
half of them roll above 10, then
and I'll bump this
half
up
of them hit.
to a higher rating to represent just weight of numbers. Yeah, okay. So, alright, so first the bows, they do not hit, and then the boarding pistols, they do hit. So there's 11 boarding pistols. Let's see how many of them hit.
Sure.
Six
I'm in
of them
favor of
hit.
abstracting this, however
Um,
it works.
And they do... How much damage is a boarding pistol? Where's Hanar?
They fuck some shit up.
Boarding pistol, 3d6. Okay. Fortunately, all the birds are spread out. So there's no adjacency hits from the spread. Alright. They all take 14 points of damage as they get shotgunned.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Pretty effective volley.
Okay, so 17 for the damage save. All right. 1 pass, 1 fail, 2 fail, 2 pass, 3 fail, 3 pass. Okay, so three of them just get their, feathers dusted by these shotgun blasts. And 3 of them get shot but keep on flying. Okay. Hey, who wants to give me a notice roll? Okay. V, are you going to bother? No? Okay.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, you got a 9 anyways, fair. Okay. So
22.
Dorothy and Viper, I guess Madam V is too distracted by the rocking of the ship and the
No. So still no.
yeah, that is fair.
I've never seen my
And
crew like
so
fire guns before. This is really
what
exciting.
Dorothy
for
and
me
Viper
personally. I feel
notice
really
that
proud.
Madam V
So I'm
fails to
hollering,
notice
Great,
is 2 things.
great job, crew.
The
Good
first-
job.
Getting really caught up in the thrill of battle.
I think both
Yeah.
of these are probably expected, in hindsight, but obviously you have slightly more exciting matters at hand. First thing is that a big wave is coming that is going to rock the ship. So if you choose to, you can brace for it, which will give you a bonus to your ride or acrobatics check to keep your feet. Odd is also still at the helm and will roll to assist. The second thing is that there are more of these bird people sparked on their way. They will not arrive next round. They may arrive the round after. All right. I don't know how y'all want to communicate that to everybody. Well, what do you holler? Good. All right.
I've found that hollering works
Yeah.
pretty well most of the time.
Okay. Yeah. So it is the Sparked's turn, but it's also time for our
Probably
break.
Something like
So we
big
will
wave
take a break, and we will be
Brace
back
yourselves.
shortly. See y'all then.
good practical information. Something actionable.
So it is the Sparked's turn, but it's also time for our break. So we will take a break. We'll be back shortly. See y'all then.